What's happening with AMC stocks? Let's delve into this situation thoroughly. I'll show you my portfolio, the trades I've made, and what's going on. We'll definitely touch on volatility, as it will provide us with answers. We'll also consider support levels for options and the overall market. Additionally, we'll look at market forecasts. I'll show you my weekly results and how I continue to manage my portfolio. But let's start from the beginning with AMC stocks. AMC is in a consolidation range from $4 to $6 following a significant short squeeze. In reality, the short squeeze wasn't as big as it seemed. The volumes were just enormous, very large. The stock traded very actively, but as we can see in the context of the entire AMC chart, this was a brief compression. It's barely noticeable, just a minor blip. I've always said that expecting a short squeeze to $500, $600 isn't realistic. But where can the stock go? Let's figure it out. First, let's look at volatility. What's happening here? As we can see, AMC has been rising and falling sharply lately. It can rise by 30% in a few days and then drop by the same 20%. This volatility is currently at 260%. This is indeed high volatility, and it can be played on. Let's also look at the volatility smile. What's happening here? As we see, the volatility smile is skewed towards both growth and decline simultaneously. This indicates that investors and traders are expecting both an increase and a decrease in the stock. However, the smile is significantly skewed towards growth. At the moment, call options are more expensive. Such a situation is rare, and this is one of those cases. Now let's look at historical and implied volatility. The gray line represents historical volatility, and the white line represents implied volatility. As we can see, historical volatility is currently much higher than implied volatility. But here, of course, after these incredible short squeezes, there's been a distortion. I wouldn't pay too much attention to this. I believe historical volatility will gradually decrease over time. Now let's look at the resistance and support levels. As we can see, there are very, very large volumes. This is why we haven't been able to overcome this level yet. Some may ask why we stopped at $6. I'm showing you it's precisely because of this huge wall of resistance. This wall is based on call options. It's very significant. As we can see, there are very large volumes here. Also, there are large volumes at the levels of $5.57 and $10. This concerns call options. Regarding put options, we have very large volumes at the levels of $4.5. As we can see, the stock has hardly dropped below $5. It dipped a bit, but still, the support is very strong. Furthermore, the volumes are concentrated in the coming weeks, which of course does not add stability to the stock. Volumes change each time and we need to monitor this as well. Now let's look at AMC stocks and what's happening here. I remind you that I can't predict price movements. I don't know where the stock will go. My main task is to manage positions wisely and balance my position so that I make money in any case. Now let's look at my portfolio. Recently, I closed my last put options on AMC stocks and now I almost have no AMC stocks. Let's look at the table I keep. I remind you that I use complex combined strategies here to outperform AMC stocks. As we can see, during the huge short squeeze, I closed all positions. Yes, I closed some in significant losses and some in very large profits. Recently, I started forming positions again. I sold 10 put options with a strike price of $4. As we can see, AMC stock has never fallen below $4, so this is my absolute profit. I earned $297 from this position. I also conducted 3 call options with a strike price of $6, and as we can see, AMC stock did not go above this either. So I collected the full premium here too. Again, I built all my positions in the derivatives market, not just randomly, but by forming positions wisely. Consequently, I also sold 5 put options with a strike price of $5, and AMC closed just below this level. They closed at $10 each, resulting in $347 profit. Thus, all my positions are entirely profitable. There's no secret here. In total, I have $8,500 fixed profit from AMC stocks. Again, all positions are closed. Now, let's summarize the past few weeks. Today is June 8th, 2024. I'm adding the fixed positions to my portfolio in my spreadsheet. Currently, AMC stock is at $4.91 when I'm noting this down as well. I remind you that the initial experiment started with $10,000. I had $10,000 and I played against the scenario of having all that money invested in AMC stocks. But I had a robust strategy of selling and buying options, combining them. Let's look at my results. My portfolio has grown by 89%, while AMC stocks have grown by 16%. The gap between my portfolio and AMC stocks is 72%, and it continues to widen. As we can see, the blue line represents my strategy, and the red line represents AMC stocks. During the massive short squeeze, I closed all positions. I've explained everything transparently and in detail in this video. You can view my entire playlist dedicated to AMC stocks. From beginning to end, I explain everything, never changing my opinion, and show which positions I open, following a very consistent approach. After closing all positions, AMC stock fell, but my fixed profit remained. As you can see, my portfolio continues to grow with the fixed profit retained. Consequently, the stock has started to rise, and my portfolio has also started to accelerate. Everything is very logical and straightforward. At the moment, all my positions are closed. I will continue to build my portfolio further. This is what I mean by proper position management. When I say that a portfolio needs to be built very wisely based on derivatives, options, and volatility, this is exactly what I mean to outperform the stock. There are different methodologies, and they are indeed complex. I gradually explain this. Again, I show everything as transparently and openly as possible. Let's return to AMC stocks. What's happening here? As I mentioned in all previous videos, it's entirely plausible. And it happened. But I don't believe in a short squeeze up to $300. All the bloggers talking about an incredible short squeeze, in my opinion, are simply deceiving and lying to gather views. I haven't seen their positions at all. Whether they hold stocks or not remains the main question. I try to show everything as transparently as possible. Now let's look at the market forecast. If we take the end of July, the market assumes the stock will be around $3.50. By the end of summer, the stock could fall another 25%. Again, for some this might seem unbelievable, but recently the stock was at $2.50. The market is currently pricing a range of $2.50, $3.50. Looking at September 2024, the price is projected to fall to $2 to $3. This is where we have the highest probability. Yes, some might not like it, but again, I'm showing you the market forecast. This forecast is based on probability theory and mathematical expectation. Derivatives are factored in. And yes, the stock momentarily rose to $10, but as we see, it still stands at $4 now. I mean that we cannot count on the market for such incredible price spikes. It indicates an approximate range and average value. So I wouldn't recommend arguing with the market. Again, the company's affairs are not going very well, plus there are additional diluted shares, so that's the situation. I have also meticulously tracked my portfolio. Let's look at the chart again. The blue line represents my strategy, while the red line represents AMC stock. I understand that not everyone can follow this. It's not accessible to all, and many have already missed out. But there's good news. I'm starting to explain a completely new portfolio from scratch. I've already recorded a video where you can watch every trade I make, and I'll break down every single one. This time, I will have more investments. I'll be showing everything as detailed and transparent as possible. My focus will shift from AMC and Tesla, which I also deal with, to a real portfolio. The previous account was virtual, just to demonstrate the logic of position management. The new account will be real, and everything will be even more detailed. Eventually, I will close the AMC outperformance segment because it will no longer be relevant. My new portfolio will include the entire spectrum of available instruments, making it very interesting. Again, all positions will be available transparently. The first part of the video is already out, the pilot episode. You can watch the introductory part. All the money from monetization, YouTube ads, and support will go into this account. It will grow slowly at first, but then faster. Once enough money accumulates, I will be able to buy new stocks, and I will definitely show you what I bought. So subscribe, leave comments if you have questions, and good luck to everyone.